Good day and welcome to all our first year medical students at FEU and RMF. I am Dr. Joseph Olivar, one of the faculty members of the Department of Physiology. On behalf of the faculty and staff, I would like to extend our warmest welcome to FEU and RMF. We are delighted to have you join our academic community and wish you a rewarding and successful journey in medical school. This recorded orientation will introduce you to two of our small group learning activities in the Department of Physiology. The Lay Education Forum and the small group discussion are what we call the SGD. The objectives, expectations, and guidelines for each activity will be discussed to help you prepare for and actively participate in these important components of your learning. So let's begin by discussing the SGD or the small group discussion. But before we go over to the mechanics, I'd like to emphasize two important points. First, as you can see in this slide, you will be provided with a learning manual. This manual contains a topic guide that summarizes the lecture content, as well as the intended learning outcomes or the ILOs and cases for the SGD. Be sure to review these materials before entering your in-person SGD sessions. Second, SGDs are conducted either in the morning or in the afternoon, depending on your assigned schedule. Their primary purpose is to reinforce the key concepts discussed in your physiology lectures through active learning, critical thinking, and group interaction. In previous years, clinical cases and their corresponding guide questions were already included in the learning manual. The intent was to encourage students to analyze the cases independently and provide genuine feedback on their understanding of the subject. However, we observed that students would often divide the guide questions among themselves before the session. As a result, each student came prepared to answer only a specific question, leading to scripted responses rather than active discussion. This approach defeated the purpose of the SGD or the small group discussion, which is actually to promote critical thinking, collaborative learning, and a deeper understanding of physiological concepts. So this year, we will be using a different approach. Throughout the semester, you will have approximately three SGDs. In each SGD, we will integrate the topics that have been covered during that particular period. As you will see in the next slide, your learning manual will include only the clinical cases and their corresponding ILOs. The discussion questions will not be provided in advance. Instead, they will be asked during the face-to-face SGD session, and students will be called upon at random to respond. This means that everyone is expected to prepare by reviewing the relevant lecture materials, understanding the physiological concepts, and analyzing the assigned cases beforehand. Our goal is to encourage active participation, critical thinking, and meaningful discussion rather than memorizing only the answers to predetermined questions. This is the content or probably part of the contents of this year's learning manual. And I am showing now the first SGD cases, which is about nerve and muscle. I think we will have two cases before the first preliminary major examination. That will be the SGD on a case of botulinum toxin as well as myasthenia gravis. And as you can see to the left column, we have here the intended learning outcomes. In the middle and right columns, as I have said, are the two clinical cases. Both cases are designed to reinforce the concepts covered in the lecture on electrophysiology, nerve physiology, as well as muscle physiology, which are included in the first prelim period. You will notice that no discussion questions are provided in the manual. The questions, as I have said, will be given only during the actual SGD. Therefore, you are expected to review the lecture materials, understand the ILOs, and analyze the clinical cases in preparation for the session. Finally, our individual participation during the SGD will be assessed using a standard rubric or rating scale. This rubric will be used to evaluate the quality of your preparation, participation, critical thinking, and responses throughout the discussion. I think there is no grade for just merely attending the SGD. So for you to be receiving a grade for that session, an active participation is definitely required. Now, let's move on to the second activity, which is the lay education activity, also known as the lay fora or the lay forum. The purpose of this activity is very simple: to apply what you have learned in the classroom to real world setting. Through this activity, you will have the opportunity to communicate important physiological concepts to the public in a manner that is accurate, relevant, and easy to understand. Although the activity will be conducted inside the classroom with a faculty or faculty members serving as the audience, you should present as if you were speaking to members of the general public, meaning you should avoid technical jargon whenever possible, explain concepts in simple language, and focus on helping a lay audience understand the topic. Speaking in the vernacular Tagalog is actually better compared to English because, as I have said, you have to imagine yourself speaking to the general public. The department developed this activity with the following objectives. For medical students taking Physiology 2, translate basic key concepts learned in medical physiology into relevant and timely education for the lay and the community. Display creativity and innovativeness in presentation of these concepts. Work effectively and independently and in teams. Present materials from different perspectives. Exhibit perseverance, resourcefulness, and initiative. In previous years, there were two options for completing this activity. Students could either create a video presentation or deliver a poster presentation. This year, however, all groups are required now to submit their work in the form of just a video presentation. This format provides a more engaging and consistent way of communicating health information to a lay audience while allowing you to develop your skills in health education and science communication. The next slide that I will show to you features sample videos created by previous batches, previous students on the topic of blood transfusion to give you an idea of what is expected. So please watch.
Magandang umaga, Mommy. Kumusta po kayo? Ako pala si Joanna.
Magandang umaga po. Ako ho si Jet.
Marian at your service po, Nanay.
Nag-aalala po ba kayo sa maaaring mangyari pag dumating na ang oras ng iyong pagpapanganak? Tulad na lamang ng kakulangan
Sa kondisyong tinatawag na anemia, mayroong kakulangan ng mariresolve na red blood cells o hemoglobin na nagdadala ng sapat na oxygen sa iba't ibang parte ng katawan. Ayon sa ECOG, 54 hanggang sa 73% sa mga ito ay maaaring maiwasan sa pamamagitan ng masusing obserbasyon ng inyong doktor sa dami ng nawalang dugo pagkatapos ng panganganak.
Ano nga ba ang blood donation? Ang blood donation ay isang proseso na naglalayong makalikom ng sapat na supply ng dugo upang magamit sa blood transfusion. Ginagawa sa pamamagitan ng pagkuha ng dugo mula sa donor. Matapos
ang susunod na programa ay Rated G. Ito ay pwede sa lahat ng manonood.
Ano mang hamon ng ating harapin, sama-sama ay nakakarinig ako, sino tayo mapanigurado na?
Magandang araw, Mamshis!
Andito na naman po tayo sa panibagong episode ng Magandang Buhay. Mga Mamshis, isang magandang morning po sa inyong lahat. Mukhang magandang pag-usapan natin ngayon, no, partner?
Dyan, partner. Siya lang sa natin ngayon dahil ang mga audience natin ay ang mga pregnant.
Meron pa kayong mga katanungan, maaari ninyong tawagan ang Philippine Red Cross Hotline. I-dial ang 143 o ang kanilang trunk line na 63-2790-2300. Maaari ring tawagan ang Philippine Blood Center sa numerong 632-8651-7800. Tandaan, magbigay buhay sa nagbibigay buhay dahil ang isang healthy mommy ay isang healthy baby. Maraming salamat po.
All right, you have seen two presentations. I would like to remind you to please follow the second format shown in the sample videos. In that format, all group members should be visible and actively participating in the video presentation. So let's proceed. Each section will be divided into 6 or 7 small groups depending on the number of students per section. All groups within the same section will be assigned the same topic, allowing you to approach the subject creatively while meeting the same learning objective. Here are some examples of the lay forum topics assigned during the previous years. The topics were organized according to each grading period in the first semester and were aligned with the physiology concepts covered during that time. These examples will give you an idea of the types of health education topics you may be asked to present. Here are some examples of the lay forum topics assigned naman during the second semester. Like those in the first semester, these topics are also aligned with the physiology concepts covered during each grading period and are intended to help you apply knowledge by communicating it effectively to a lay audience. The lay forum presentation is usually, but not always, scheduled before the major exams. I say usually because the schedule may need to be adjusted due to changes in the academic calendar, class cancellations, holidays, or other institutional activities. Please always refer to the official schedule that will be announced by the department in advance. All successful submission presentation is graded according to the rubric, which I will show in a while, and this will be part of your output grade. I think number 4 is still true. In each section, the best video presentation will be given an additional merit. So here are the criteria for the video presentation. Each group will be graded based on your alignment with the intended learning outcomes, conceptual clarity and content relevance of your presentation, creativity and originality, quality of execution, evidence of collaboration and participative effort, time allotment, cinematography, and audio visual quality. The highest grade for each criterion is at 4. So the perfect score for the video presentation is 32 points. All right. And topic assignment per group and assigned presentation will be posted in the Moodle very, very soon. And that concludes our brief orientation on the 2 departmental learning activities, the SGD and the lay forum. I hope this orientation has given you a clear understanding of the objectives, expectations, and requirements for each activity. We encourage you to prepare well, participate actively, and make the most of these learning opportunities. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for watching this recorded orientation. We look forward to working with all of you, batch 2030. So once again, welcome to the Department of Physiology, and we wish you a successful and rewarding first year at FEU and RMF. See you soon.